Now that a new NFL season has commenced, it's time to take a peek into the crystal ball and see how the postseason is going to play out.
Chiefs over Bills in the AFC Championship game, Bucks over Rams in the NFC Championship game, and then Chiefs over Bucks in Super Bowl 60.
Who makes the 14-team tournament? Well, let's dive right into our 2025-2026 NFL playoff predictions and Super Bowl 60 winner. AFC wildcard round. Number 2 Kansas City Chiefs versus number 7 Pittsburgh Steelers. If this is Aaron Rodgers' last rodeo, then what better way to try and extend your career than by taking down Patrick Mahomes at his own barn in the postseason? The last time these two teams met in the postseason was the 2022 wildcard round, where the Chiefs annihilated Pittsburgh 42-21 in Ben Roethlisberger's final game. Could we see a similar storyline here? Like Roethlisberger 4 years ago, Rodgers' Hall of Fame career ends with a lopsided loss in the wildcard round at Arrowhead Stadium. Prediction: Chiefs 31, Steelers 16. AFC wildcard round. Number 3 Baltimore Ravens versus number 6 Denver Broncos. Now this would be fun. A classic case of unstoppable force meets the immovable object. The arrival of Derrick Henry has added another element to the Lamar Jackson-led offense in Baltimore. Ultimately, it was only Mark Andrews' dropped 2-point conversion attempt in the divisional round against the Buffalo Bills that ended Baltimore's Super Bowl 59 dream. The journey to redemption begins here against a well-balanced Broncos team featuring a young offense led by Bo Nix and a lights-out defense that added Jahdae Barron, Dre Greenlaw, and Talanoa Hufanga to the mix. If there's a group with the pieces to neutralize Jackson and Henry here, it's going to be the Broncos. On the flip side, the hot and cold Knicks would have to face a vaunted Ravens defense led by stud defensive backs Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Malachi Starks, and Jair Alexander. And Cortland Sutton is really the only Bronco pass catcher that's striking some fear into the Ravens. Experience would be a big factor here too. Jackson has already appeared in 8 playoff games, while Knicks looked lost and uncomfortable in his playoff debut a year ago. Yeah. Ravens advance. Prediction: Ravens 27, Broncos 20. AFC wildcard round. Number 4 Houston Texans versus number 5 Cincinnati Bengals. Death, taxes, and the Texans winning the AFC's number 4 seed to secure a home playoff game. CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, and the Texans' stingy defense do just enough to lock down another division title. But they face a real challenge here with Joe Burrow and a motivated Bengals squad that narrowly missed the postseason in consecutive years. Well, the Texans' D will have to be near perfect here to escape with a win against one of the NFL's most explosive offenses. Without Tank Dell and potentially Joe Mixon, Stroud just doesn't have the pieces in place to go toe-to-toe with Burrow in a potential shootout. Houston's D will keep this one closer than it should be, but the Bengals come out on top. Prediction: Bengals 28, Texans 24. NFC wildcard round. Number 2 Green Bay Packers versus number 7 San Francisco 49ers. Fueled by the Micah Parsons trade and the arrival of Texas receiver Matthew Golden, the Packers reemerge as the kings of the NFC North for the first time since 2021. Their reward? The showdown with their postseason kryptonite. The 49ers eliminated the Packers in the postseason 5 times between 2012 and 2023, including 4 January victories over Aaron Rodgers. In 2023, however, Jordan Love and the 7th-seeded Packers gave a real scare to the top-seeded 49ers before narrowly falling 24-21 in the divisional round. Well, Jordan Love wasn't quite as polished then as he is now. Those Packers also didn't have Josh Jacobs, Matthew Golden, Micah Parsons, or Xavier McKinney. For the first time since 2001, the Packers defeat the 49ers in the postseason. Prediction: Packers 23, 49ers 17. NFC wildcard round. Number 3 Los Angeles Rams versus number 6 Washington Commanders. This is a classic wildcard showdown of 2 bona fide Super Bowl contenders where, unfortunately, one has to go home early. The Rams and Commanders made surprise playoff runs a year ago, with both falling to the eventual Super Bowl champion Eagles. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and Kyron Williams versus Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, and Zach Ertz spells out 2 words: absolute cinema. But here, we feel the Rams have the extra pieces on defense to make those few extra plays, whereas Washington lacks the personnel to contain the Nacua-Adams tandem in the secondary. Prediction: Rams 26, Commanders 23. NFC wildcard round. Number 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus number 5 Detroit Lions. The Lions spoiled Baker Mayfield's Renaissance 2023 season. 8 months later, however, Tampa got a bit of revenge by stunning Detroit 20-16 at Ford Field in Week 2. one of the only 2 regular season losses for the Lions in 2024. So here you got 2 teams with a ridiculous set of offensive weapons, ferocious front sevens, and, leaky secondaries. Their last 2 meetings went down to the wire, so why shouldn't Mayfield's Bucks versus Goff's Lions Part 4 deliver even more Oscar-worthy theater? Prediction: Lions 34, Buccaneers 27. AFC Divisional Round. Number 1 Buffalo Bills versus number 5 Cincinnati Bengals. Worth noting that the Bengals visit Buffalo at Highmark Stadium in Week 14, so we'll have had the luxury of a juicy preview before this 5-star divisional round showdown. Everyone remembers what happened in their last playoff meeting, so we all know that the Bengals are not fazed by Josh Allen and the Bills Mafia. At the same time, the current Bengals defense is not quite the unit that it was 3 years ago. Prediction: Bills 30, Bengals 20. AFC Divisional Round. Number 2 Kansas City Chiefs versus number 3 Baltimore Ravens. Now, in some ways, it is impossible to believe that Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson have only met once in the postseason. But it's true. So, here's part 2, at long last. Lamar Jackson's struggles against Kansas City have been well documented, but 4 of his 5 losses have come by a single score. At some point, you gotta think that the bounces will balance out. Mahomes has never lost in the divisional round, but all good things must come to an end. Prediction: Ravens 30, Chiefs 26. NFC Divisional Round. Number 1 Philadelphia Eagles versus number 5 Detroit Lions. The defending Super Bowl champions against the team that was supposed to win it all a year ago before getting crushed by Washington in the divisional round. There would be no shortage of Hollywood storylines to draw from here. The 2 teams are slated to meet in Philly on Sunday Night Football in Week 11, so we'll have a pretty good idea of where the 2 teams stack up against one another. A chess match between Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell feels like a coin flip on paper, but while the Lions have question marks in the secondary, Philly has the super cornerback tandem of Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell to contain Detroit's top pass catchers. Prediction: Eagles 27, Lions 24. NFC Divisional Round. Number 2 Green Bay Packers versus number 3 Los Angeles Rams. Sean McVay has had his way against most NFL teams, but the Packers certainly aren't one of them. As the Packers head coach, Matt LaFleur is 5-0 against McVay, his former boss in Los Angeles. Most recently, Green Bay defeated LA 24-19 at SoFi Stadium a year ago. By the way, the Packers didn't have Micah Parsons for their previous 5 meetings against McVay's Rams. Throw in home advantage in the freezing conditions of Lambeau Field in January, and this just feels like a lopsided win for the Pack. Prediction: Packers 33, Rams 17. AFC Championship game. Number 1 Buffalo Bills versus number 3 Baltimore Ravens. For the first time since 2017, the Chiefs are not in the AFC Championship game. And fittingly enough, this AFC title matchup would feature one of the 2 superstar quarterbacks trying to erase the can't win the big one label. It's a bit of a coin flip, but we kind of just feel like the Ravens are a little scarier on offense. I mean, one day Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews will not commit a costly 4th quarter fumble against the Bills that turns the game around. Prediction: Ravens 35, Bills 27. NFC Championship game. Number 1 Philadelphia Eagles versus number 2 Green Bay Packers. A rematch from last year's NFC wildcard round. Why does something tell us that this would be better than their dull showdown from last January, with Philly winning 22-10 en route to a Super Bowl 59 championship? Oh yeah, because the Packers have a guy named Micah Parsons now. Despite winning 11 games last year, Jordan Love and the Packers just never seemed fully in sync on offense. But the Pack will have had a year to prepare for this rematch, and 2 emotional playoff wins at Lambeau Field will have them better prepared for the Lincoln Financial Field atmosphere. Prediction: Packers 30, Eagles 20. Super Bowl 60, Baltimore Ravens versus Green Bay Packers. In a dream Super Bowl 60 matchup, it is Lamar Jackson's Ravens against Jordan Love's Packers. 2 perennial NFL heavyweights that each won it all more than a decade ago, but have experienced nothing but postseason heartbreak ever since. 2 dynamic quarterbacks, each with a rushing champion running back, loaded with pass-catching playmakers, both featuring a quality defense that finished in the top 10 for your scoring a year ago. Something has gotta give. Oh, and Parsons is gonna be your Super Bowl MVP. Prediction: Packers 31, Ravens 24. But who do you think will win Super Bowl 60? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.